Okay, so hi everyone. This Jested session, as we come to the end of Jested sessions become more interesting, right? So today we're just going to look into a memory leak because the because the problem is so what happened? Tim has created a merge request so that we become better citizens and remove emoji JSON from our JS file, from our main JS bundle file. Sorry, brain, need to sort things. And unfortunately, his tests, the new tests that he introduced or refactored, run into an out of memory problem. Which is weird. At first I thought, hey, maybe we were at some borderline thing, so let's just increase the max memory size of Node. That unfortunately didn't help, and so we still run out of memory. And funnily enough, if I try it locally, I also run out of memory. So that doesn't seem to be anything CI specific. The things that I have done now is locally I have started the Jest tests, or I had started the Jest tests. They run out of memory, and so I restarted the Jest tests, followed an article that said, hey, you can attach the Chrome memory tools to Jest. And I basically took 3 memory snapshots and I started comparing them. And funnily enough, the biggest stuff doesn't seem necessarily related to the changes Tim made. So Tim,
does it happen if you just run that one test in isolation?
No.
Oh, it happens if you run all of them.
Yes. So the idea is that I've run all of the tests in sequence, which helps with detecting these memory leaks. And it is just like that the Jest is taking more memory over time. So you can see it. Unfortunately, you can't see it right now in my logs because I have deleted them. I have stopped the Jest thing, but we can try it again. But my suggestion would be...
Yeah, I was wondering, can we walk through some of these changes? Because that might also give everybody else looking at it some context.
Yes. So in these changes, what we're basically refactoring is that instead of loading our JavaScript, our emojis directly via Webpack, we are basically importing them. We're loading the JSON file. We have like this emojis.json, and instead of loading it directly with Webpack and having it in our bundle, we're loading the JSON asynchronously. If we don't have it yet, if we do have it, we put it into, if we load it, we put it into local storage and we load it from there. So you don't even need to load that JSON if it's not there, right? So that actually means that we remove this. So yeah, it doesn't really have to do.
Well,
yeah.
Okay.
So basically, yeah.
I was looking at some of the other files that seemed interesting. Can you scroll up?
Yes.
That awards handler one. If you go down, so we're doing, before we would import. Okay.
So we actually had the same thing before. So so the thing is, we are currently dynamically importing emojis, which we probably could make sync at some point. But we are doing that anyway. So here we just refactored a little bit when we init this emoji thing. So yeah.
Yep.
So it's the fun thing is in the tests, I don't think that this is causing that this is necessarily causing a memory leak. I think it could just make memory leak more apparent. Because if we look at the following thing, so let me find the tests emoji spec. So the big thing.
The font?
Yeah.
Can you enhance your screen?
Enhance.
Make it larger.
Zoom in.
Ah.
Better.
Better. Thank you.
Yeah. Cool, no worries.
Is that from Connor when he's like yelling enhance? Or no, he's not yelling enhance or something. It's gotta be from.
Isn't it like CSI that they zoom in and then it's like, oh, you can't read the license plate. Enhance.
Right. Okay.
So the big thing that we're doing in this test that we're doing differently now is like, so under the hood, the whole emoji thing works as a web component, which is unfortunately not natively available in our JS DOM version because we are like 27 versions behind, right? So we are JS DOM 11 and JS DOM 16.2, which is fairly recent, introduced the possibility. So my assumption is that maybe this thing made the memory leak more apparent. Not necessarily, you know, because maybe just by registering a few more bytes into JS DOM window and, you know, now something not being garbage collected properly throws out of proportion. That at least was my assumption. I've basically started Jest with this cool command where you can add the Chrome utils, right? And then Chrome debugging utils, and then you can take memory snapshots and compare them. So the only thing that this essentially does differently, and we could test it easily if we just, you know, describe the GL emoji and we run the test, it shouldn't lead to anything, right? But we go back to the master branch, and if we also see like a memory leak there, it could just be that, you know, this is basically the drop in the bucket, you know, that caused it to overflow essentially, right? For whatever reason. Yeah, I don't.
Let's try. I think that'd be interesting. Let's try running Jest without this emoji spec, because I think some of the emoji stuff is actually maybe globally loaded.
So my test now would be. My question would be: I'm just going to delete the test file.
That's fine.
If that's okay with you, right? That's the easiest way to get rid of it completely, right?
We're using source control, I think, so we should be good.
Yeah. What is this source control you're talking about?
Well,
so
I hear that GitLab does this.
Okay.
And then GitLab like rm-rf.
So I'm just going to close this Chrome session here and start a fresh one. And, you know, in order to save us time, I will attach directly to the thing.
Wow, that's so cool.
Cool. So you can see here, it's now saying, hey, you know, you have the debugger, please run it, see how to do that. So this is the command. I don't know if you don't want to document it at some point, but you can see here, hey, you have Node Jest running, right? Then you go on inspect mode. You are here, debugger paused. So basically what we're doing is say, hey, we're not doing anything right now. Mm-hmm. So let's start it, and then we can watch it for a bit. And the really cool thing is you can see here the memory. So we can see that the memory increases, right? And I mean, this is expected, and you can see like how all the tests are running. And I mean, for this analysis, and you can see that the heap size grows even without the emoji specs. Yay. So this is a good sign that the emoji specs didn't necessarily cause this. And
it should flatten out, like hopefully.
Hopefully it should flatten out, but just for the sake of arguments, I'm going to take a...
Oh gosh.
I'm going to take a memory snapshot now, which will stop the execution, by the way, right? And then we can take a memory snapshot in like, let's say 10, 20 tests when you see that the heap actually has grown to 1.5 gigabytes, and then we can compare the two. And my assumption is that it doesn't have to do anything with the emoji specs, and that it actually, at least from the memory snapshots that I analyzed before, has probably done something to do with either view test utils, or something.
Have we tried this on master just to double check, compared it against master?
Lucas, now you made Paul not sleep for a couple of weeks until this memory flattens out.
Oh, no, you opened up a drug for me to get even more reasons not to merge it more.
I think I have now friends over. I don't know. I will see. Give me a second.
Oh no, he's driving.
It's glad to hear that we're not over talking about flattening a curve.
Yeah. And they can even hear us. Yeah.
If you want me to drive or someone else, or if you need to hop off, someone else could pick it up too.
Wait a second.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I want to
should-
run this on master and see if this MR is problematic.
Okay. So let's just double check to see if this MR, sorry if I'm repeating something, if this MR is problematic or not. But to be honest, like, because I deleted the one spec that actually changed, you know, it shouldn't be a problem, right? I mean,
But it's also this production code. I think this shared emoji code gets loaded. It's possible that it gets loaded for every test. So
how?
It could be the production code as well, because we have emojis. We need emojis to run. It's part of our common stuff, I think. Oh look, it's kind of going down. It seems like it's hanging out.
Yeah, let's have a look. I mean,
But
would be weird.
Every test now, because it's gonna take some time.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we don't need to run every test to see if this, like, you know, grows out of proportion. Let's just, you know, maybe I'm pulling out this so we can. No, what did I do? I want to have this as a separate window. Give me my window. Oh, that's a problem if you're on Mac or not on Windows. Buttons. Move session to window.
Yeah,
Okay.
it hurts how much memory it's using. I don't know if it's just because Jest is doing a lot in parallel, or if JavaScript is just not that good of a language.
I mean, in each garbage collected language, you can have memory leaks, right? And, you know, starting to dig in, I actually found that, you know, there have been memory leaks with Jest in the past. Jest is actually really good that it has like these tools. And actually, you can see we are probably leaking memory, because otherwise there's like no, you know, we're increasing from 120 megs over, we're now at 930. We are now, you know, I don't know.
I'm
To
so
me,
sad. This is the saddest I've been.
so I mean, cool, yeah. I can actually force a garbage collection, right?
Don't do it. We
Why not?
gotta just see it go all the way down.
Ah,
Well, man, we hit 1,000. Oh, now it's down. Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, you
because-
forced it?
yeah, because I forced it. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, we just have to create a script that clicks that button halfway through the test.
problem solved, right? So
That's-
while this run, they usually the culprit for memory leak are singletons and stuff attached to global buses. In this case, it's probably with a window object.
Yes.
Do you think we could have did any of those in the MR that tipped the scale, like the as a last drop? One more singleton imported, like Axios. Well, I don't know. Axios is not 100 megabytes.
To be honest, like, it could potentially, because the emoji specs also ran as the first ones, right? Because the last ones changed. I actually don't know how Jest determines the order, but I assume that was the reason, because the last time I ran it. So it could be because this global document registering thing is like, I don't know currently, and that's why I want to bring it here with some Jest experts. Do you guys know if we have like one JS DOM instance that's reused, or do you know if we, like, you know, because this could be related if we put something into the global DOM and
Yeah, you bring up a good point. It should not be, it's my understanding that it is not reused. It gets set up in the test setup, and that's something that happens, a test setup happens, and that happens just once. So, yeah.
But But can it be something that we created? We somehow managed to.
I really want to check this out on master and see if let's see if we can see if it's tied to this MR. Something.
I mean,
Jess does some really fun because Jess doesn't load things like Webpack does, and so Jess has different third-party libraries for reading some of the things, and we're already doing some really special importing here that maybe we just triggered something that's making one of those third-party libraries just upset.
I mean, one of the interesting things, and I think at some point we need to update Jest anyway, and I think we should update JS DOM because we have like we're actually using this polyfill for the emojis, right? So if you look here, we use this document register element. It's actually, you know, like it's actually using like, you know, extending HTML element, and then you register at the bottom, you register like this element. So we have like these GL emojis, right? Yep. And this is just like the polyfills for the browser that don't support it. Actually, a good question, which browsers do support it? And maybe we could get rid of it, dropping IE 11. Nevertheless, I think the problem because I tried, you know, be like, hey, you know, I don't care about the underlying logic. When we unit test the thing, it's probably enough to test the class. But the problem is I moved the class to a different file, imported the file, and JS DOM just dies because it doesn't expect you to extend the GL emoji, the HTML element, right? And newer versions of JS DOM don't die, but the problem is that the newer versions of JS DOM are not currently hooked up to our Jest stuff, right? You can't just update JS DOM, unfortunately. So it goes hand in hand with a Jest upgrade, and I'm just like, I'm actually hopeful that this memory is not necessarily connected to this, but that we have like a memory leak. That we just have a memory leak that's, you know, related to Vue or something.
Yeah. No, there's a huge win here. Either way, but yeah, I'd like to try it on master. I can try it out on my computer. Can you share with me your suite?
Yes, it's actually pretty Jest memory leak. Your Jest tests are leaking memory. So this is a really good. Where is our thread? This is like a really good.
Oh man, it's almost 1,500 megabytes now.
Yeah,
Can we take another snapshot?
Yeah, we can take a snapshot and can compare them.
That's a really good idea.
And actually, you know, this is maybe the final thing that I would do and then hop off. How long is the Jest session? An hour, right?
An hour.
And maybe you could go back and, you know, use the last half hour to look into a test or something.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
But now we are very curious about this.
I thought we just fix it for you, you know?
Eipi's like, hey, you know what? You guys are all migrating these specs. Well, turns out, like, they're all on fire.
It was better before.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, snapshotting, the problem is with 1.5 gigabyte, it also takes some time and Zoom share and everything, right?
It's a little more than that, right? Because that's just the raw data is 1.5, but it's going to do a bunch of metadata around it too and stuff, I guess.
So what do we have here? Array.
Oh my God. Let's look at the number of arrays we have. But it's like clearly something's not being cleaned up. Like, why is so much? Oh, I can't wait to see what it is.
It's all those people who aren't saying their wrapper to null. They think that's enough.
I know. Oh man, if it is that we're not auto-destroying, you know, later version of Vue test utils, Winnie wrote a helper method and published it upstream so we can enable auto-destroy for components and Vue test utils. But we're kind of can't.
To be honest, like the earlier snapshots that I had actually had like circular watching component shenanigans.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you search for like Vue test utils memory leak, you find like issues, right?
Yeah.
Possible memory leak, right? And it's like, you know, it wasn't this version, and could it be related to? And there's like, you know, hey, Vue router could be responsible,
right? And I think one thing what we could do though is be a little systematic with isolating this. I mean, looking at snapshots can be super helpful, but we could, like, if we think view test utils might be offending, let's remove all our view test util scripts and then or view test util specs and then rerun it and see, are we still leaking? And if we are,
can
then,
we see an increase in memory?
I mean, that's the thing that you would see in the snapshots, right? That's the thing where you're like, hey, if we compare snapshot 2 with snapshot 1 and we see, hey, if it's like the strings or whatever that are leaking, if they tell us a story like, hey, by the way, my name is Axios.mock request, then it's likely related to the Axios mock requests, right?
oh yeah.
Yeah. Or if they tell, because it was like objects that contained watcher and depths, and it's like, this looks like view.
This whole process, this script and opening up this Chrome inspector, like this is really valuable. So thanks for bringing this up. I'm excited to.
We downscale this. Does it make valuable to look like a 2-3 test and see how the memory grows there? Because it's faster to iterate on top of that, right?
Well, the problem is that you don't necessarily see what's leaking. I mean, if you have like, if you see here that like you have an increase, it could also just be because it's not garbage collected, right? I mean,
but you bring up a good point, Nico, and we used to do this for like capybara specs that were flaky or like R specs that are flaky. It's unfeasible to run the entire R spec suite locally. So what we would do is like select half, or like we'd select like a quarter and see, hey, did this cause the issue? And if it did, then we try to slice it down even more to like, let's try to find the smallest set of tests that reveal the issue. And now I have something I can play with. Because I think looking at this, we can see, in just one page, we went from 100 to 800. And so I could just run just these specs and play around.
Definitely.
I think
the problem, I don't know how the garbage collection
and it
works internally, right? So it could be that, Node, similar to like Java or whatever, that the Node program is now just, taking like all
as much as it can.
All the memory it can. And then if you are at that 2 gigabyte, whatever. So another thing that you could do is, right, you have this max memory setting that we've actually changed in the tests. Oops, what am I doing? What? Oh God, my computer. So there's like this max memory max memory setting. So you could, turn it down as well, right? Mm-hmm. So instead of saying, hey, here are 2 gigabytes, or usually on my computer, I have it set to 4 gigabytes. So this is like 3.5. You could be like, hey, Jest, you get half a gigabyte. I mean, you should be happy with that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait for us to resolve this problem.
Yeah.
Did you upload the snapshots to the issue that is tracking this problem?
The memory snapshots.
It might be too big to.
Can you save them? Should be no problem to upload them, because generally, especially if you have a memory leak, it's very similar objects. So I had it in the past where we had memory leaks and like the snapshot was like 2 gigabytes. And if you ran zip on it, it was like, hey, 10 megabytes.
Nice. That's awesome. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, you can upload it to Drive anyway, for example, right?
Okay. That's good. Yeah.
You know what, folks? I have my guests over. It's nearly the weekend.
Can you share is this the script that that one is doing?
Just look at the thing it's literally described here, and there's the command. I just copy pasted that command. I'm not that smart. I just copy paste things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, locate the leak.
Okay. Yeah. Locate the leak. All right.
Locate the leak. It's
cool.
Usually in the ground next to the potatoes, but
this is like the date joke. You're a specialist.
Yes. Yes. So they described what happened. I will.
All right, I'm stoked about it. We'll hop on it. Thanks, Eipi, for bringing this up.
Cool. Yeah, cool.
Thank you.
I mean, check it out on master and see if the thing increases or not, right?
I think I think. Can you share this MR and this article on the Slack, and then And then yeah.
Already done. Wait,
Oh,
let me
okay.
just ping you, Paul.
Does someone want to pick this up? Nico or Alexander? Does someone want to pick
We
up?
can if you don't want to drive. Otherwise, I'm happy to leave it to you if you're particularly interested.
Yeah, I'm interested. I don't mind driving, but it's also my morning, and I haven't been on fire this mornings this week. So if you're feeling fresh, maybe you want to pick it up, Nico.
My only thing is that I have hard stop at 5 exactly. So that's the only thing.
Then let me then I may do it because I may get really into it. All right. Unless you want to, Alexander.
The snapshot is almost done. Please.
I think I'm even earlier than you are.
Oh, okay. All right. I know. Come on. Oh, it's gonna take some time. Eipi.
Why?
Oh,
Damn.
oh, wow. Okay. All right. Yeah. Don't leave yet, Eipi.
Let's see it.
Oh gosh.
Okay. All objects. Give me those objects, those sweet objects.
You gotta wait now.
Oh no. Oh.
Anyway, maybe not the smartest thing to do it on Zoom as well. I mean, I also killed the Jest process. Maybe I killed it too early.
Do you think it's really?
I think we should work on a smaller scale. Otherwise, it's
That's a good
impossible
idea.
to test.
We'll do that. All right.
Yeah, let's do that.
Eipi.
Have fun. Have a good one. Have a nice weekend. Right?
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Right.
All right. Here I'm doing something. I don't think I'm doing anything important, so I'm just gonna get rid of it.
Of the work you were doing yesterday is trash now.
Yeah, so and here's my Slack. Here we go. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Sorry, does the trumpet bother you?
Oh, does what bother me?
The trumpet. Okay, this means that you can't hear it. Good.
No, I can't hear anything at all.
I have a musician neighbor.
That rocks.
No.
Okay. Okay. So, is he or she early in their trumpet career, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm sure that the sound of progress is inspiring.
Headphones with noise canceling. That's what is inspiring me.
So I'm not really sure about what to do here, other than
That's the command that you need to run. Yeah.
Does the command. So we're running this thing, and then let's just identify a subset of specs to run. Does that sound like a good idea? Okay. So I'm not even gonna inspect this. I'm just gonna run it, and then I should see it grow, right?
No,
you should open Chrome.
No, but it didn't block, so we miss a command.
Okay.
Right.
So
You should stop that.
Right after node in that command, you have to type what I am about to put into the chat here.
Or this one. Yeah, this full command, yeah.
It's the same one, right? Or you have something in the chat?
Inspect BRK.
Okay. Awesome. So it's the same thing. Right after node. This is it. Okay. I clearly didn't copy it. And then you're saying I need to open Chrome and then do.
Yeah, and then you need to go inspect element. Yeah.
You can just type Chrome : / inspect.
E. You missed that E.
Oh gosh, this is what I was talking about. Okay. Okay.
You warned us, you know.
I know.
It's here. Inspect.
All right.
You can also right click inspect, and then there is devices.
Okay.
In the console as well. If
So
you
this
don't
is
want to type.
We're debugged, and we're just gonna hit play.
Yeah.
And we're doing some things, and
This is exciting.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's great how, as you were saying, similar to the trumpet player, like how much room for improvement we have.
Yeah. I don't know. This is not my first ride with memory leaks. Usually the emotional curve is like frustration, 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 happiness, rage. Where rage is when you identified what happens, what caused it.
Look at this. Look at this.
Oh,
jump,
look at that bump.
right? Oh my gosh. Like we only have.
Might be good
Oh.
to note which ones are bumping the hardest.
Yeah.
Ones,
I think that's a good idea. I'm gonna.
Well, I guess we're recording this, so.
Oh, that's fine. It's recorded, right?
Yeah, we can scroll through and just be like, oh.
What's this team doing? Yeah. I'm clearly missing some pictures.
Maybe it turns out that mount is memory leaking.
Oh gosh, I wouldn't be surprised. But this one clearly, while this is running, wow, we're already like at 1,000. Okay, like
actually looking at those long execution tests can be a nice tip, like those red on the number.
Yeah, so we're already at 1,000. I'm gonna do something. What should I do?
You need to go memory.
Take a snapshot.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. So I think you and I have talked about it, Nico, but like I'm really inspired by Demoscene. Have we talked about Demoscene, Alexander?
No.
So these are like amazing feats of software. Demoscene, yeah. So people create all these like beautiful demos, these very graphical demos, but you can only do it in like 4 kilobytes. People have done like amazing stuff in small amounts of space. And so then when I see like, we're just writing unit tests and it's like, and it hurts, but I know it's also not us. It's because the whole JavaScript ecosystem is, and I'm ranting now, but it's like, who knows what code is running? Like, anyways, I'm super ranting, so I'm gonna.
Also, I mean, for the most part, who cares? Like, it's only when this happens that we're like, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't just use all the memory.
I mean, like this, and when your Chrome is using 16 gigabytes.
Yeah.
I think you bring up some good points, and what I think happens then is that since we don't have any visibility on it, it doesn't become a problem until it's really too late, because it's hard to fix these things after the fact. And I'm a huge fan of, like, we should try to make sure things run on like fairly constrained machines.
Can just out of curiosity, can you check the import of that spec from 10 monitor components dashboard spec, because it did a bump of 200 megabytes, 180.
This
10 seconds.
One?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this has got to be the eCharts thing, maybe. Because I saw that show up. Because here's the thing, like, it's gonna load not just this stuff, but also all the things that get loaded here.
Yeah. So
but then it looks like it never clears. Like, that's really weird and scary.
So it just goes up. It means that those reference stays there forever, right?
I have no idea, but it doesn't feel good. Yeah, this is news to me. Yeah, we could run this one and try to isolate what's happening. I kind of wonder if anything's going to be. So that's another interesting point too, that what Lucas was talking about, that this might not just be related to the MR. The fact that, yeah, we have some specs bump more than other specs signifies that it's probably not related to that MR. It's probably an underlying issue for sure. But I wonder what it is.
You know what I was thinking? Sometimes you can console log in a test, like a component body, and it will crash the test because it goes in infinite loop. Like, it can't serialize an endless cycle.
Right.
Could they be related?
So view, and that's an interesting point. Like the view object has a lot of those references. Like you have a reference to the parent in the view object, and the parent has a reference to the child.
Yeah, but it stops at body, right?
Well, I mean, the parent view object has a reference to the child, and the child view object has a reference to the parent. So you have this.
Those are circle.
In view instances by nature.
This also means that if you forget to destroy one, you will actually hold up a full tree.
Yeah.
Because nothing is going to be garbage collected until there is at least one reference holding up there.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see. Oh, here we go. All right. So let's see. We want to look at. So look. So I don't.
Oh, wait a sec. What is that 6 million there?
This is retain.
Oh, no, there is
size.
Much more.
Shallow size. This is starting to get a little bit beyond my. Oh my gosh. No pulling. Okay.
Wait, but hold on a second. With the shallow size, it says 4% next to it. We should
check the
if we're gonna look at any of these sizes, we should sort them from highest to lowest.
Size mean? Like, does that mean? I don't know what the difference between this are.
Do they? Well, I think a good question is, do they correlate? Like, if you sort by shallow, if you filter or sort by shallow size, are you similarly sorting by retained size? Do they just happen to work out together?
No.
This array.
No, I think shallow size is the object itself, right? And the retained is the with all the hierarchy attached.
Yeah, let's do a quick.
Oh yeah, someone should be Googling.
Shallow size versus.
Hey.
Yeah, second. There you go.
Memory terminology. Okay. Oh.
Okay.
Directly by the object itself or implicitly by holding references to other objects. Preventing those objects. Okay. So shallow size. What is shallow size? Size of the memory that is held by the object itself. Oh, retained size. This is the size of
it's
memory
the reference.
Once the object itself is deleted along with its dependent objects that were made unreachable. Whoa! There are lots of internal, which are non-interesting. Window global. I'm skimming this. I know. The window.
So basically, a big retained size, it means that this object is connected with a lot of heavy stuff.
Yeah.
While a big shallow size, it means that the guy is big on itself.
Yep. And that kind of makes sense. Arrays I'd expect to be pretty big. This is interesting that there's this huge gap between retained size and shallow size, meaning from what I hear is that the actual data of this individual object is small, but it has references to things, a lot of things that other things don't have references to. So if I delete this object, this is how much win I would get. That's maybe not just related to.
I think in simple term is like that.
But that I don't really know what I'm talking about.
But I mean, it also makes sense, right? Because all our components, all our stuff are all objects at the end of the day.
Right. Oh, and so look at this. Oh no, this is mid stuff. Oh no. Okay. Oh my gosh, I wonder if that mid stuff is causing issues.
Well, just roll back Git to before we introduce Meet and just run a quick clip.
That's a really good idea.
Just run 13.0.
Yeah.
Can we check out the 13.0?
I'm gonna write down that idea of rollback before mid and see what happens. But I want to let's do a little bit more exploration while I'm here. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. Of course. Can you drag the bottom window up a little bit more?
Yeah, but that's, so here's the interesting thing, and yeah, these memory leaks are so real. What can happen is, because I create all these closures and these events, but I never unlisten to the events, I've now have all of these objects in closure and they never get cleaned up. And so that's why my size of these event listeners are so small, but they have objects, they have references all to lots and lots of objects that aren't, are no longer even directly accessible. But I never unlistens to the event, is my theory here.
It can be, but don't we always call the like off or meet, for example?
I don't think
in the
so.
component life cycle.
Mit is used as this event hub thing. Maybe we do, but I know that there's probably cases that we don't.
And you know, actually, this doesn't even matter in actual code itself, because Jest is loading everything all at once, while for us it's all web pages, right? So this may not even happen this much in the production code.
But because Jest it's running it on every spec. Every spec we have a brand new kind of environment. So that's why I think it could be very problematic.
But if meet is imported like the normal meet, and meet is a singleton, it will keep the reference in memory of all the code of all the tests.
Yeah, let's see. And maybe what we could do is add, maybe there's an easy fix. Maybe there's like
a mock
we could do, or on our test setup, we could do after each, just get rid of all listeners or something like that. But I don't really know what I'm talking about too much.
Can we look at a few more of those objects? So we've looked at two that have MIT. Are they all?
Yeah, I want to look at a few more of these, because that's top one is MIT. But you see, that doesn't totally explain this huge 600,000. I'm trying to see what this thing is. It has some exports and oh gosh, it just keeps going. Oh gosh, okay. Some self. What is
Visibility is the library we use for polling. So it basically tells you if a tab is in focus.
I wonder if this is our. I wonder if this is actually our poller, or maybe some. I have no idea. I'm not entirely sure what I'm looking at or what I should be looking for, except I see that something's.
You could open also inside the tree in the constructor view.
Which one?
Up. There is arrow to open up there as well. They're both there. If you click the arrow, you can open up that.
Oh wow! That's so much more helpful.
Because we can see what is the source, right? So this is visibility.
This is actually visibility. We import. Gosh, always. Okay, sorry. So we use this quite a bit. And yeah, we're adding a listener here. We're not cleaning it up. And we have, I know this is like a singleton store too, like, so I'm not super surprised, but.
This is visibility JS, right?
Yeah, I'm guessing so. That makes sense. This is a nice looking array of pipelines.
One of the best.
This is a pipeline thing. This is an array of.
But you know, the size already went down a lot. This is the third one. No.
Yeah.
Apologize.
And then here's our poll, or I'm guessing. Oh, here's like, no, this is for the MR widget by itself, because I guess we're not cleaning up after that. I have no idea what this is. Oh, this must be a Jest thing.
Yeah.
Or like Babel or the Jest loader or something.
It's got your name in it, Paul.
It does. Oh man, good thing I don't have, like, my file path isn't.
You're holding too many references. Cool.
Turns out Paul's the source of our memory leak. Yeah, these look like just stuff.
I mean, the shallow size now is nothing. We shouldn't even be looking at this, right?
Yep, I agree. Then here's a array of interesting things. Oh gosh, I don't even know what I'm looking at.
E-charts.
But it's e-charts and it's a view component. But it is e-charts.
Sorry, why do we have Jasmine async install there?
Okay. For the sake of time, because I have not entirely sure what I'm looking at, I am going to save this. I'm not going to put it on my desktop because I know I'll delete it and forget about it. I'm going to put it in here. Okay. But I like the idea of let's run a previous one and see what happens and see if there's something introduced within versions. And so I think I'm just gonna run because we did see Mid was like one of the
vendors.
Yeah.
You know what library I hear doesn't have memory leaks? Karma.
No, you'd be surprised.
So this.
So
I mean, can you just no.
Well, I was gonna just get the commit before this one and check that out directly. But I wanted to. Did I already copy over? I don't know what I'm doing here. What am I doing here? I was wanting to copy over the files that we ran in this run. But I can also just run everything over again. So here I am. Oh no, did I? Okay, I did save.
You were doing the same mistake as Eipi.
See that so much. So I'm committing before we do anything with Met. But what's probably going to happen is now it's going to be Vue that's complaining. But potentially, if Vue doesn't complain, because because here's the thing, it's not like a library doesn't have memory leaks. It's our code has memory leaks, and no matter what the library is, it's probably going to have problems.
No, it's how we use the library. Maybe that's the reason. And if we can find a pattern, maybe we can apply like a catch-all solution.
Yeah, and
right?
I think that'll be a good
like
one.
After each win global.meet equal null or something. I don't know, like clear up, destroy, whatever it's method the library has, as you suggested.
I think that's a good idea. So let's try this out without Med and see what happens. Oh, I gotta go back to here.
I'm afraid you need to I'm afraid that we're gonna have a series of offenders, not only one. I'm afraid.
I think you're right.
Jeez.
But this is the kind of thing, it would be really nice if there was a way for us to get some visibility on the amount of memory taken by Jest.
Well, performance it's in our career metrics past seniors, so it's important to solve this.
I know. And now it's documented that, Paul doesn't know what shallow and retained memory is.
You're never gonna make staff that way.
I know.
Hey, look,
all these front-end pair programming videos is like, Paul's like, he's really posing a lot.
This MR widget spec takes a life. Can we open, just out of curiosity, what is that guy doing there?
It's a huge one, the MR widget.
25 seconds.
Yeah, it's a big one.
How does it doesn't time out for you? Because it does a lot of tests.
I think we've manually overridden the timeout thing.
And here I am making MR to split stuff to not have anything above 6 seconds.
That's good. Do it.
Until I have capacity.
Don't let this discourage you, Nico. I'm trying to see
why there is a done with underlined done. Oh, because now we are leading against it. So this was before, probably, right? The code before it.
So I'm noticing less increase, right?
Yeah, it seems 1 megabyte circa. No, well, it depends. But by that time, we were already at gig before.
Now, if we could still get to a gig, I mean, something's still off. Wow, these big ones, they sure do jump up a lot, and it just stays around. Ah, that hurts. Wow. Yeah,
Oh,
something's
Jesus.
still wrong. But I think when we do it, we're gonna see instead of Mit, I think we'll see that it's because we were using view instances to do this, and I think we're gonna see that it's
Like the
all our
root,
view instances. So
the root bus.
what might be a nice fix, and I like it, is an after each cleanup of Mit events and view events, and we should probably be good. Okay, we've already hit it. So I'm gonna take a snapshot, I guess.
But did you stop it?
Do I need this? I didn't stop it.
Okay, good.
Okay.
That's what I was worried.
So I
Wait,
wonder-
was this just on master?
so this was on master. This was on old master.
Pre-Mit master.
Yep. So, and we're still growing.
Yeah.
Some questions I have, and this is me being paranoid, like, is it possible that any of my commands here, like, cause memory leaks, like the way I'm calling it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, because I also don't really know what these mean either.
That removes the parallelization, right?
I see. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. No, yeah, that makes sense. That's what run and band means, is it removes the parameterization. Okay, that makes sense. So what I was wanting to see is if we go to our Mit thing. Okay. Do you all know if the Mit library npm has like a
You want to check the compile source?
all listeners or something?
Apparently they have a remove all listeners.
So remove all listeners is a thing? I'm gonna, instead of looking at this issue, I'm gonna look at the
Yeah, check the API. API, there is a
great name.
table of.
The API is right here. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. On off.
Remove an event for the given type of event, or
You can pass star.
Okay. Yeah, we can just do Mit off star. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have, I think in our Jest setup, we'll have an adapter for Mit that we capture the instance that we create of it, and then we just remove all of it after each.
And then you can compare the Eip size, the snapshot, and see if it actually did the difference. But I think this will require an epic and some investigation.
I think we do a little experiment here. Do you want to try to do just a little experiment?
Yes, we just have 5 minutes before the next meeting.
Okay.
Sadly.
I'm gonna really try to do a little experiment. Oh gosh. Okay. So here we are in the new branch. Yeah, something died over here, but it still got my snapshot, I think. Do we want to look at that snapshot? Oh no, maybe my snapshot isn't finished yet. Oh no, it was stuck at 100%.
Doesn't really sound like 100%.
I mean, it's not loading 100%. It's actually like 20%, and then the rest is you're gonna wait for it there.
Yeah, that might not even be working right now. Okay, I'm gonna try to get you out of time, Nico. So I want to import. We have where do we do import Mit now? We have this thing. Yes. Okay. So I can, I was going
I think
to
you
do
should.
Mhm.
You should import that one, right? Not the library one.
Okay, sounds good. Do we don't? Yeah, we do everything from this event hub factory.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. So this is in job. This is in helpers event factory. So I'm gonna event hub factory from helpers event hub factory. Great. And so what I'm gonna then do is, and I'll just put it here at the top. Just spy on. Oh my god.
Why do you need a spy on?
Well,
Just
I was wanting to replace because I have to capture this instance.
yeah. So you imported it. That is,
So every time this is called, I need to also get a reference to this instance.
yeah.
And what I'm realizing now is I might need to actually. I was trying to like, I guess mock this, and I guess I can just do that. So I'm just gonna go. Can I do it like this? Am I doing something wrong?
You can actually pass a second argument with the function that does the return of that.
Yeah, but I can't. One weird quirk about these callbacks, they don't have access to like previous variables and stuff. Maybe
Yeah,
can I
that's
do it
true.
after each here or something? I think if I do this, it'll just give me a mock implementation. I think I can then do event hub factory mock implementation. I think I could do this. I'm not entirely sure. I might be able to. But I also want to require the actual one. Do you know how to do that?
There is like a require.
Is it just require actual?
Yeah, something like that. It's in the API. Yeah.
It is. Yep, that is it. Okay.
You can assign it to a const. Yeah.
Real event hub factory equals just require actual. Okay.
Yep.
So we call this thing, we get the instances equals the real event hub factory. We're going to return that instance, but then we're going to add this to event hub instances. I got less than 1 minute left.
Type faster.
Why is this having so many problems? What is your problem? Oh, use constant set. Okay, sorry. After each
Event hub instances for each.
X off start.
Star.
Is that right? Yeah.
Is it the string star or is it just the star? Oh, I guess it's gotta be a string.
Okay.
What am I talking about?
Oh, but I need to jump off. Let me know how it goes, guys.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. I'm going to
Thank
do
you.
this just 5 more minutes. All right. Thanks, Nico, for hopping on. You can hop off,
Bye.
too, Alex, if you want to.
I kind of, well, I will stick around for the end of the experiment.
All right. Well, yeah, I just want to see. I want to see if this helps. So, does it look like I'm missing anything? It's very messy, I know, but yeah, I just want to see if it helps. Oh man, let's see what happens.
Yeah, because if I dropped off now, it'd just be you recording yourself.
Like, man, you know, Paul hosts these pair programming things, and he's the only one that shows up.
Yeah, there needs to at least be a pair at all times.
Like, hey, Paul, I think you're kind of missing the point here. Oh, it's stuck because of, oh my gosh. And yeah, this one failed.
What?
Well, so you see, like up here, it did this, you know, if it had a native failure.
Yeah.
I guess it failed trying to save something. That's disappointing.
That is sad.
Oh well. So here I am. I'm gonna inspect this thing. We're gonna run.
It's unfortunate that we fixed the leak already, so we won't have another opportunity to get a snapshot.
That's true. Oh gosh,
107, 116.
it's still kind of growing. I'm glad that there's not a whole lot that's like blowing up. I don't know if oh gosh. Oh, but look, did you see it go down? It hasn't ever done that. A lot of these are failing because they don't. Oh no, this one failed because they don't have the real event hub. Factory is non-functional. Well, you're not.
Wait, but what does the memory tab look like? Heads up, in a second here, my partner is going to be walking our cat around the apartment.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. Do you want me to like stop recording or?
No, I was just giving you a heads up.
Like, whoa, there's someone behind you.
And they're being followed by a cat.
Yeah, so this is still blowing up, but I think part of that, though, I think part of that is that we don't necessarily use the event, this mid one, as much as we think it is, as much as we think we are. If I look up import event hub factory, well, I guess we're using quite a lot. We're still also using the view thing a lot.
How are we using MIT so much? That like just got introduced like a month ago or something.
I think we had a hackathon to start introducing it, but some of these are not. A lot of these looks like it looks like it wasn't working for me. Well, okay, yeah, it looks like it's not necessarily working for me.
Real. Oh yeah, real. It's
it
not
might
a
be
function.
because I actually need to do defaults. That might be related to it.
Oh right, the require import thing.
I could try that out because the situation is if I import here, but I've mocked it, I'm gonna get the mock here. I won't have a reference to the real one. And ideally, shouldn't even be doing all this mess in this file probably. But it is encouraging for me to know that this is at least getting our little helper thing is actually happening here.
And quite a bit too.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna run it and see if this error still comes out. But I kind of think we need to do the same thing for view instances, like on our old event hub things. So if I do something like, give me all files named event, but that are importing view.
There's only like one of them.
Yeah, that's wow.
Or
I guess
80.
we did really.
Or 50. That's the what's MIT. That is what MIT is
Replacing.
supposed to be replacing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised that there's not a lot of them. There's only 2 of them or 4 of them. But these are like commonly used ones. This is notes and boards, and for that MR widget, like this is going to be a commonly used one. I wonder if I could just replace it with MIT now. Oh, it's not running because I'm actually not going to inspect break because I don't necessarily want to do that right now.
Totally.
I wonder if I can replace these with MIT. And now we have our MIT cleanup and see if that helps.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't really know what's our pattern here for. Oh no, event hub factory. Is this it? This is it?
That's it.
I'm gonna do it. Sorry that my front end fixtures aren't. Oh, look at this. See it going down?
Yeah.
We weren't seeing that before.
Yeah. And I think, and I believe MR widgets, like Nico pointed out, was sort of blowing up before, and now it's reasonable.
Look at that. This might be it. Look at that. Yeah, it said we're still hanging out at 100.
That is, I made the joke. I was like, oh, Eipi, you can leave. We're just going to fix this for you. And here we are.
That's awesome. Something's having problems. Oh gosh. Yeah, there might be some issues with yeah, look at this. This is 100% what we need to do. Okay, well, I feel good that we have something. This is going to make our tests faster. This is exciting.
Yeah, look how fast those are going.
Yeah, and especially the ones that fail. They just fail right away. Yeah, I'm excited about this. And I kind of wonder, then we just need to replace all our other event hubby things. And now we have a way of doing these cleanups across tests. It seems to be working somewhat good. So I'll create an MR of this. We'll see what CI says. Do you have any capacity to maybe take it across the finish line?
I do not know.
Okay, I could. All right.
I'm not 100% sure what we're doing here, so okay. I don't think I would be the right person. Full disclosure.
This is new to me too, so but the main takeaway, I guess, so to summarize this video, and then I'll make it in more, and I'm heading out of office in a second. The main takeaway is previously what we saw in the snapshot, we had an object's actual size of like 20 bytes, but it had references to like 600 plus megabytes. It was something ridiculous like that. And we dived into it, and it was this MIT stuff. And what was then clearly happening was that we only have like on hand of actual real pointers that are being used by MIT, but MIT has all of these closure references to huge objects that are being referenced in these callback functions. So we needed to clean up MIT. And I guess we can't totally trust our component destroy to do that. We need to do it here. We need to do it at the component as well, because that helps things in production. But this was the thing that's cleaning it up. It looks like it's not that bad, but clearly we can't just mess up this test setup file. So we should figure out a better place for this to live. But then the missing bit is if we do import view from these kind of event hubs, they're not being cleaned up. So let's also do the event hub thing here. And then we should be golden. And yeah, look at this. It's looking a lot better. It's still growing, which I'm sure that there's other issues like with the visibility thing and with our polar callbacks. We need a way. Cleaning them at the application level is going to be really difficult. It would be nice to just have a catch-all of like, let's just clean everything. Every reference that could have ever registered anything, let's clean it up. But yeah, cool. Hey, thanks for helping out and hopping on, Alex, and previously Nico and Eipi.
Yeah. Thank you for setting these up. These are great.
Cool. All right. Well, catch you all later. See you.
Bye, friends.
Bye. I don't know how to stop recording.